Hi guys, Mitch here from MJB Seminars, where you liberate, empower and inspire yourself to be the greatest example of your creation. Now, I'm here in nature, and if there's one thing I've realized through my life is that whatever nature has created, it tends to stand the test of time. And nothing is constant here in nature. Things are always moving and changing. And one of the things that I've noticed in life is that, nature has a rhythm to it. And when we understand nature's coordinate system, and when we follow that rhythm, and when, we work in line with nature, and we understand nature's laws, and we allow ourselves to immerse ourselves in those laws, and we go with nature, life tends to roll the way we want it to roll. In actual fact, the degree to which we suffer as a people is in direct proportion to the infraction that we have against nature and nature's coordinate system. So whenever we go, whenever you are, you're meant to sleep but you don't sleep, you feel out of whack. Whenever, you do something that goes against nature in terms of your health, you also feel out of whack. So our objective in life is to understand nature and follow its system, and when we do this, we tend to have a much easier ride. Now, we all know this because at times we have all gone against nature's coordinating system, and we've all paid the price. And a great example of this is that if you've ever held your hand over a flame, you know that you get burnt. So you know not to do this. This is a natural law of nature. So again, the degree to which we experience disorder or dysfunction in our lives is dependent on our ignorance that we have about how nature actually works and how nature is trying to govern us all the time. In actual fact, nature is designed specifically to make us limitless. And what I mean by this is that if we fully understand nature's coordinate system, if we fully understand the laws, well, then we become limitless. And you've got to think about nature's laws and nature's coordinating system like this. I can get a rocket, I can get it to Mars and back from Mars and work out in thousandths of a millimeter exactly where that rocket is going to land before I even press launch. This is because nature has a coordinating system to which we understand, and if we understand nature and we understand its system, we're able to determine the predictability of how our lives will actually roll out. So what I want to do now is I want to give you three really, really extraordinary laws that I follow in my life all of the time, that I've spent a lot of time researching and a lot of time lecturing about. And I'm going to simplify them down and make them really easy for you. The first law is Maupertuis's law, and it goes like this. It's called the law of least action. And it basically states that any action is alone sufficient. And here's what that means. It basically means that it doesn't matter what you've done, it doesn't matter what you're doing, or it doesn't matter what you're going to do, it is enough. So when I got this law, it was really at the time that I realized that everything I'd ever done within my life was perfect, everything I was doing was perfect, and everything I was ever going to do was perfect in the universe's eyes. The only time we go against that law is when we think that we have done something that is imperfect. That's when our minds get caught up and we pay the price. The second law that I want to talk to you about is called the law of supply and demand. A really, really amazing law. And I love this law because it really compels me and allows me to actually go and really make something out of my life. Now, the law of supply and demand works like this. When you focus on the demand, the supply follows. If you take your focus off your demand and focus on the supply, the demand for you drops. So your objective in life is to always be focusing on the demand, asking yourself a couple of primal questions. How can I be more organized? How can I be more disciplined? How can I be more focused? How can I be more diligent? Every morning you wake up, and then the last one is how can I give over to people over and above what they expect? And when you do this, the supply of energy and time and money and travel and holidays and people to support your cause always turns up. A fantastic law. Never worry about the supply. Always focus on the demand. The last and final law that I absolutely love, and I've been speaking about this law for years, is the law of conservation of energy. And it states, you cannot take from the universe without it simultaneously being replaced. So simultaneously meaning to the same degree and the same amount. So you cannot take from the universe without it simultaneously being replaced. Here's what this means. You cannot lose the lover over here without the new one turning up over here. You cannot lose the contract over here without another one turning up over here. But what happens to the masses and the way in which we create pain for ourselves in terms of this law is that we focus on the loss And when we focus on the loss, your brain, your mind can only do one of two things. It's either going to focus on the loss or it's going to focus on the gain. Your objective, whenever you perceive you've lost somebody over here, always know that somebody is turning up over here that is specifically designed in order to evolve the immortal nature of your heart. If you've lost a contract over here, go and look and ask yourself, okay, where's the next contract? Where's the next client? Where's the next deal? Take your mind off where you perceive you've lost and stop and find out where it's turned up. The only reason we get emotional when we lose something is because we can't see where it's turned up. But if we turn our direction and our sight towards where it's turned up, suddenly we start to understand that nothing is ever missing and we're always free. You'll also notice with these three laws is that they're intrinsically linked. There is an absolute finite link between every single universal law and principle. But these are three of the main laws that I run my life by. So guys, I want you to do something for me this week. In the comment section, I want you to tell me which one of those laws resonated with you the most, and which one are you going to master this year for yourself? Which one are you going to put as much time and effort into making sure that you implement the understanding of that law into your life? And I want you to put it in the comment section. Tell me which law is most important to you and tell me why it resonated with you so much. Now, if you know an eagle that's sitting in a nest that just needs a push, I want you to do something for me. I want you to flick this forward on Facebook or tweet it to them. And this is a law called the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity means when you give people over and above what they expect, it tends to come back to you in ways that you would have never expected. So if you know someone in your life that just needs a push, please feel free to tweet it or Facebook it. Remember guys, love is all there is, love is the only way. Live your life inspired. Take care, bye-bye.